Oh, phew. We have the background already in. We didn't need to worry about putting it in post later, just like Mystery Wrestling was this week. Wow, it is great to be back on the air with the BC WrestlePod fam here. Welcome to the Grapple Gurus tonight. As I am your host, Evil Uno Deep Dish, otherwise known as JVL. And I am joined tonight by my three co-hosts, which, as we keep seeing Mystery Wrestling getting more and more popular, we have more people that want to watch this. We have Benny, our wonderful Bear Chicaro.
Good evening. Greetings and salutations. Let's rock and roll.
We have Adam Coleslaw coming in from the Great White North.
Hey, everybody. I am happy to be reviewing wrestling that's actually fun because I found out what that is over this show.
Which is a big deal if you know the lore of BC WrestlePod. And finally, on the ones and twos and making us all look and sound amazing and also just being an all-around amazing person, we have El Jefe, Mikey, who just is paying our non-existent paychecks. Mikey!
What's up?
So before we get started
on some of those paychecks.
Before we get started on this, Mikey, is there anything you wanted to promote or anything from the channel that we should bring up at the top of the show before we dive into Mystery Wrestling?
Sure. Really quickly, because I do want to get into some Mystery Wrestling. If you are new here or you've been rocking with BC WrestlePod for the last 3.5 years, don't know how we made it that far, but we're glad that we're here. YouTube, Twitch, Kick, that is where we're at. Follow us on your favorite social media site of choice at BC WrestlePod. New merch is coming. I promise. It is a pain in the butt. I had some setbacks, but now we're getting some things cleared and we're good. So
we're selling pains in the butt.
Not pains in the butt. Some setbacks. I was like, where did we get that from? Anyways, but you can still check that out at our shop, BC WrestlePod shop.fourthwall.com. And guys, there's a lot of streaming services we pay for to do all these things. Too many, in my opinion. We also still have to pay for certain, promotion pay-per-views. Love you, AEW, but damn. So if you want to help us and contribute monetarily wise to help us pay for said pay-per-views, our coffee bot, our little friendo, will be popping up in the YouTube and Twitch chat as you do so. So
buy Mikey a cup of coffee. Make sure Mikey's house doesn't rock and roll in the next earthquake, like all the good stuff we have. So,
listen, it goes back and forth. It's always threatening to be on fire. Like, it's normal out here in the great Southern California.
I was going to say, it sounds like most of my other relationships I've had in the past. But anyways, we are going to dive in tonight. This is this is like been the week or the month of international shows for most wrestling companies that being over in Europe doing a lot of things. And Mr. Wrestling is no different. I assume because AEW was over that way, we obviously had to have Mr. Wrestling in Cardiff. So Evil Uno packed up the bingo hall, brought it across the pond, and placed it down in the middle of Wales for us to enjoy. If you've never seen Mr. Wrestling before, think of all of the things you wish that wrestling would do and that would make it more fun for you to watch, and then they will do it. They will make this the most enjoyable thing you've watched ever. And the tagline for them obviously goes, it's a mystery as to what this card is going to be. They never announce anything ahead of time except a few little things. It's always going to be something new. Gentlemen, were you all ready to be completely driven into Wales for all of this good stuff, all the reference level we had to have?
What do you mean driven into Wales?
Well, I mean, like a boat goes, and it runs into, and then you have to spear it, and then you drag it back to Nantucket, and you cut it open, and there's a whole book
Isn't
about
that
it.
A lot of Moby Dick.
I was going to say.
I mean, that's all of New England culture, but they killed the whalers. Yeah, I know.
Ouch,
that was a direct one for you, JVL.
That hurts deep. I
think it was a hurricane took at the end of the whalers.
All right. We're not going to talk about Carolina. We're talking about Cardiff. Cardiff is in Wales. We start our night off, as we usually do, by introducing our commentary team. And we get them sitting at their commentary desk with a nice piece of paper from someone's notebook behind them saying, insert background in post, which is just a perfect way to start the day.
I love that.
And we have our lovely Evil Uno, who was announced early this time. He was going to be on commentary. It was a big surprise. And then some guy named Simon Miller, who we kind of like but really don't like.
He has his ups and downs.
Very nice. Benny, I want to go to you. You've now seen both episodes that Simon Miller has been on commentary for. Do you feel this one was superior, or would it lacked a little bit for you with him being on it again?
Well, much like his shirt, I thought this appearance was XXXL. Well, that didn't make any
Gooder.
much.
I know this.
I did not think that one through.
No, neither
But
did
you know
he.
what? It was pretty great. It's always great to see Simon Miller. Uh, his sketches where it's like he's producing promos.
Yeah,
Uh,
kayfabe
comedy
news.
gold. That guy's great.
Kayfabe news is amazing. And I also, just a little behind the scenes here. I know, Mikey, you got this too. Jesse was texting us as he's watching, going, "Where can I get Uno's TARDIS shirt?" And they kind of like they addressed that later on in the evening. We're like, "This was an exclusive. If you can drive here, get to Wales, we've got it here." But as of today, pre-orders are open for a week. You can now buy that shirt because it is the Doctor Who TARDIS with Sasquatch, Evil Uno, and Top Dog coming out of it. I think, Mikey, we need something along those lines at some point. Something to our European cousins.
Yes, I will put that on my design list. Also, I get paid on Mondays, so I was just like, and we're gonna waste it on wrestling t-shirts. Let's go.
That's what's going to happen. It's what's going to happen. So, the way Mystery Wrestling gets set up, the first match usually, because we did have a change last time where there was like a bit of a snafu at the top because there was actual storyline in Mystery Wrestling 20. But this one had our four-way match, the Druid match, where four wrestlers are standing in the ring completely covered in black robes, and you don't know who they are until they reveal themselves. Mikey, I'm going to throw this one to you because you are the resident British wrestling kind of like, historian here. We had MJ Cleary, Scrapper James Stone from No Nonsense, Junior Benito, and Danny Jones. What can you tell us about these guys that, like, especially the ones like MJ Cleary and Danny Jones that we don't know as much about if we haven't watched Progress or other or Evolve or anything else?
Well, the funny thing is I don't know much about them either.
Oh, good. I'm glad I went to you.
Now,
Jesse, what do you know about them? You know about it as much as Mikey.
I like Junior Benito and Clap Them Cheeks. That was
Yes.
a lot of fun.
clap them cheeks.
He's been on quite a few Mystery Wrestling, and he's been both tag team and singles. He's gotten a lot of traction with those hands. Benny, which of the three Clap Them Cheeks he did in the middle of the match was the best?
I can't really remember, but I like that.
Wait, hold on, Benny. Did you do your homework?
I did.
Okay.
But the amount of claps or the amount of cheeks that were clapped, I did not count. But that LJ Cleary is pretty great, man.
Very much so, and I think we've seen him before as well. But the four of them kind of took a second to get ready in this match. Cleary was giving props to everyone, like shaking hands and fist bumping. Danny Jones was not having any of it, just wrecked house with everybody else. And I thought that was perfect. That like there was kind of that like, yeah, this is still fun. We're having fun with this, and then housed by everybody else, and you could know who they're going to be up against. James Stone played a heel, but he was kind of like a tweener in this one, which was strange to see with what happened with Stu later in the night. I felt weird watching that. I don't know whether it was just because he was trying to give Danny Jones more room. Do you guys feel like he just kind of stepped back a bit and didn't go full on?
I don't know if it was that so much as since he is like a local favorite, he was having trouble playing as a heel because they didn't want to give him the heat. So I think that may have been a factor there.
It definitely could be. And after all the housing and everything else, we also had multiple kip-ups in a row. And I had the line here from Simon Miller, you can never get too many kip-ups in a match. That's just wrestling fact. Do we feel like we need to see more maybe a kip-up match in the future for Mystery Wrestling where there's nothing but kip-ups?
Yes, but I want to add a clarification. We could do that match, but we need to have a Kip Sabian do these kip ups as well.
Oh, it's too meta. Way too meta. Also, don't know if the rest of you saw this, but and the spot for the Tower of Doom spot where they finally got up there, did you notice that Danny Jones and James Stone nearly clipped the ceiling with their feet coming off the top rope? Because this is a big ball.
I missed. I forget whoever's got the long hair in the photo up here almost broke their neck in that spot. That's what I saw.
That too, definitely, because he was on the underside there coming down because there was Junior Benito on the bottom. Because it was, but that was a scary spot here. So many butts were slapped, so many things were done, and I did have Uno saying that the posts were moving during the corner clotheslines too. Did we feel like this felt like a dangerous night from that moment on? I don't know about anybody else. Just hearing how the ring was moving too much and was too high for most of the Mystery Wrestling wrestlers.
Yeah, but that tracks so well for this promotion. This is the bubblegum and shoelaces promotion, and that's why I love it so much. It's like there is just such a small margin of error for them, and to me that adds to it.
And I wanted to ask Benny of this as well, and maybe Mikey as well. Mikey, you probably have seen this before, but did you get thrown off a bit by originally by the counts for the pins and stuff that were just pointing and counting and not slapping the mat originally, and which was not consistent throughout the entire evening?
I mean, at first I was like, oh, so we're doing this. Okay. The weird thing is like those things I don't necessarily hark on too much because I was like, oh yeah, this is easy enough because I'm so enthralled. I like watching the in-ring a lot and the counts and stuff like that. I have to sometimes go through my Rolodex, be like, all right, where are we? What are we doing? Oh, right, because I watch too much wrestling, as people will tell you, and they do the counts differently, and the way they do counts is also very interesting. I mean, JVL, you got to experience that when you watch CMLL over the summer. The way that the refs do the counting is like they scoop themselves when they do the counts and everything. So
Oh yeah, they're flipping everywhere just as much as the wrestlers there. But this was strange. Where like I thought it was lackadaisical and lazy a bit, but also like they didn't own a ring bell, so they had to do the ding 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 with the crowd, which is a good back and forth. But the problem that I had was that it wasn't consistent. There were a couple matches where there was. I think that the Canadian refs were slapping the mat on the 1-2-3, but the British refs were not. So it was very strange to me.
I kind of like that. It felt like it was a bit they were doing.
Maybe it was.
Like, because if you noticed, it was the younger referees who weren't getting down to slap the mat, and it was the older guys who clearly more veterans in it were the ones getting down and doing the count that we're all used to.
Yeah. I think you're right, and I did not notice that from that point of it. But you're right; it was the more experienced and veteran refs. But one last question about this match before we get to the Junior Benito ends up picking up the win. He pins James Stone. Do we see, because Mr. Wrestling is known for sort of storylines, perhaps no nonsense attacking Junior Benito next month when they're back in Gatineau?
could
Probably.
be, especially because Evil Uno makes it well, especially here, but made it a point to say that Mr. Junior Benito here is his student, his pupil too. So I'm like,
Right.
I'm gonna keep my eye on this because we're going to report the facts as the story continues to develop.
But it is pro wrestling. There are no facts. We move on to one of the highlights of the night for me. Our match 2 is a Falls Count Somewhere match between Sasquatch and Top Dog. Now, for those of you that may not have watched it or don't know, and this is the second time this match has appeared, think of Falls Count Anywhere, where you can pin anybody anywhere in the building, go anywhere. It's a hardcore match. Falls Count Somewhere, there is a specific place in this building that they have to be on to get the pin to win. The wrestlers have to find it, and they're not told where it is. I love the idea of this, where like you're moving around the ring slowly. You have to find small parts. It's not there. The ref waits till halfway through to start saying hot and cold. And did everyone notice the kind of thing between Sasquatch and Top Dog when they got out of the ring, where they're like, no, you first, or I'll pin you, and then I'll pin you, then I'll pin you. Just being so polite.
This was a gentleman's game. When I first read the card, I thought it was a typo, and then when like they explained it, I started giggling at just the absurdity of it. It was so funny to watch them go, oh wait, no, why are we even going to beat the shit out of each other until we know where we can actually pin them? So let's find it first, and then let's start attacking each other. And then when Sasquatch went for his whatever move and smashed his head into the wall because it's so low, it was just so silly. But it's what we needed after the first match was more of a traditional wrestling match.
The Sasquatch splash that went wrong was very, very fun. I also love that on commentary, Benny, you heard this too, where Simon Miller was saying how intimidated he was by Sasquatch because of their shared history that he doesn't want to go into right now because of the last time he was on Mystery Wrestling.
Like when I first saw like Top Dog, like I'd seen like photos of him and stuff from the last show he was on or whatever, and I was like, hey, if Foot Slam can have a cereal man and AW can have a Jungle Boy, why can't Mystery Wrestling have a hot dog bender? But
Well, and he's known for the best blading in the industry, which is ketchup packets across the head.
oh, smartest thing in the world. And to answer your question, like I imagine that Simon Miller probably does have a long history with Sasquatch because he was even in them at one point, I believe.
Do you?
Very
You
I
much.
wanna
mean
let-
in the costume, right?
Oh
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah,
no.
Okay.
Benny,
Just for
It was that one
clarification
night.
here.
It was a bit passionate, but you know.
Benny, I'd like you to elaborate on that. When do you think he was in the costume?
Oh, I can't remember the number of the one.
Oh, on a previous show. No, I thought you
Yes,
meant this
yes.
show. That's why I was like, no, he was at commentary. Like he was talking about it the whole
No,
time. I don't know what Benny's talking about.
like a magic act.
Well, I mean, they did have RJ City disappear to become Young London Lightning, so who knows?
Exactly.
Mikey, I have to ask you this one about this match before we get to the ending and who won. You've been watching a lot of TNA lately. You've been talking about visa issues and how much it has really been detrimental to them. How hard do you think it was for them to get a visa for a cryptid?
Well, let's see. Do I be funny or do I do some sort of commentary on the climate that is the system that we live in? I'm gonna do both.
Yeah, I was just like, can you do both?
I can do both. For the cryptid, honestly, you know what? I don't know. Because a working visa for a human versus a humanoid cryptid might be a little bit different. I mean, I want to say something, but it might be problematic and come bite us in the butt, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I don't know, because Sasquatch is foreign. He is brown furred. Like, I don't know. It might take like he's native. It might, in a system where that should be like background check. Can you do this? Yes. And also, unfortunately, Sasquatch will probably have to take tests about the history of the United States, in which even its own citizens cannot pass the test because, the education system is top notch here. I could attest to that. Not
top
really.
dog. It was top dog he was fighting.
Do that too. Honestly,
Wait,
I
are
would
we gonna
give
have
it
another tag team with top notch and this guy be a nacho vendor?
Oh,
yes.
God.
Oh gosh, yes. Anyways, I would give Sasquatch a working visa. I mean, it should be really easy, but I don't know what happens. I'm not the one in charges, but this is what happens when you let white people control the government. I'm just saying.
Jesse, I also thought of you very much at the top of this when Top Dog was in and before Sasquatch came in. The crowd was chanting something that I've only heard in either times I've hung out with you or places with a lot of different food vendors. We want onions. We want onions. Because obviously, it's a very British thing for onions on your hot dog. So
I don't think I picked up on that. I think it was just so enthralled in them trying to find the somewhere that I didn't hear that part. Maybe it's, I probably missed it.
They were chanting, "We want onions" at the top because obviously not mustard or ketchup. They want onions on their hot dog, and he was leaning into it. Again, this match
Shouting
had
"We want
so many
onions" at a
different-
wrestling show is tough though, because the one we went to that was most of the fans smelled like that,
That's very
and
true.
not in a good way.
Thank you, GCW.
That is the trade-off, unfortunately. Well, I mean, if y'all find yourself in California, you'll get a whole different smell in that venue.
There we go. I look forward to the birria tacos. So the only other thing
they're
that
so good.
Birria bath.
I need to ask Benny. I have to ask Benny this. Was there an ounce of you, and this is for all three of you guys, was there an ounce of you when they found the spot that you thought the magic trick was going to work and none of the cans were going to move? When they ripped the tablecloth away?
I was hoping, or at least a bartender could have just put a finger on at least one of them, But
well, they kept moving the bartenders around and getting them out of the way, and the camera guys, because they were all in the way from the shot.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh my God, what's happening? What's happening?"
I'm just happy that Sasquatch or Top Dog didn't put their foot in the beer well or something where they had to get to the well liquor and they couldn't get up there. It was a tight squeeze on that bar.
It was.
But Top Dog
That's why
ends
the
up becoming...
Sasquatch splash didn't make it.
It's very true, and it's because of that, and he landed perfectly, remember. He hit the thing, Top Dog rolled off, and he just landed perfectly on the actual bar top. Top Dog gets the win in the second ever Falls Count Somewhere match. Brilliant way to really turn that kind of stipulation on its head. Again, this is what you get in Mystery Wrestling, but I want to see this many more times. And like worse and worse and worse, where it just gets to the point like they're taking a bus to Toronto or something and they have to get like pinned out somewhere else. Like it needs to go somewhere. All right, we moved on to match 3. We're back to actual wrestling here. It is a tag team match. Uno and Simon Miller joke that it could be them taking on each other. We have Lycos Jim versus Subculture. Mikey is having a little bit of a dancer. Mikey, go into it.
Bitch, you don't even know.
Yes, I think I do, NXT UK. Thank you.
Yes, that is also very true. But listen, I was like, okay, now we get into people I actually know. Let me tell you something. I watched this live on Sunday morning, really earlier than I normally do, but I was like, I have things to do for this podcast, so let's put it on, right? I was not prepared. Well, I should have been prepared, but I wasn't prepared to see Lycos Jim come out. And then when I saw the Subculture boys, I audibly gasped and lost my damn mind. I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen them in forever. Oh, wrestling is amazing. There is hope again. Like, God, I love Flash Morgan Whips and Mark Andrews. And of course, the Lycos boy. My little British wrestling heart was so happy. And then it exploded later, which we're going to get into.
But I was a little Flash Morgan Webster was a little underdressed for me. Usually he's in like full like Austin Powers or like 60s British gear. This is a little more toned down. Did either Benny, or Jesse?
This is Subculture, so they tone it down when they're in the Subculture gear.
It makes sense. Benny or Jesse, did you know either of these two teams before you went into this, or had any idea about them?
I did.
No, I'd seen the Lycos before because they were in another mystery that we watched. And I think it was Simon and Evelyn who brought up a good point. At what point do they become not kids? They've been wrestling for quite some time.
Well, and there's two.
But no, I was not
junior.
familiar with Subculture or Dom Culture or whatever they were when they're not dressed up.
Strange. I thought you had watched NXT UK. I thought you knew Mark Andrews and them from that, but maybe not.
No, I did not watch NXT UK.
Wow. Benny, did you know either of these guys?
Yeah, I'm rather familiar with Lycos Jim from the last one, and I do frequent some British wrestling as well. Subculture is somebody that I've heard Mikey talk about, and I was excited to see him. And speaking of Kid Lycos coming of age, like when exactly is the rite of passage for a Lycos?
I mean, it is different than a general human being, so
fair.
But this was a great British wrestling tag team match. We had, comedy spots in the middle, a lot of great stuff there, including Kid Lycos apologizing for Kid Lycos 2 being a bit of a dick to Mark Andrews and going and kissing his boot. That was fun. We had a bunch of stuff here with like the Uno coming onto a commentary going, he can't afford tag ropes. Of all the things he has for his budget, he can't afford those. So it's just a random tag thing. I love that. And the reverse victory roll into the rolling DDT by Mark Andrews was spectacular. That was a great, almost near fall at the end of the match. Any highlights for any of you guys in what we saw there, or things that came up on commentary, like Simon Miller saying, if you're born after 2002, we don't care about you?
Rude.
There was a kick reverse into an X Factor that was really cool. Like that one really stuck out to me.
There was quite a few 1-2 oohs in here that got me. Like I had to pause and go back to see because the inconsistent ring counting that we had or fall counting that we had. There was quite a few 1-2 oohs. I was like, yeah, that was actually 3.
That was very much so, and also just because not slapping the mat. Mikey, any highlights for you that we want to go into before we jump into our next match?
This whole match was a highlight for me, and let me tell you why, right? So I'm going to flex my British wrestling knowledge a little bit here. So welcome to my TED Talk. The reason that I marked out, no pun intended, for this one is because Subculture has been around the British wrestling scene forever. They've been wrestling in double-digit decades, like at this point, double-digit years in total as singles competitors and as Subculture. Of course, for those of us who know, Subculture also has one more member in the form of Miss Danny Luna, who we love dearly. And I was kind of sad we didn't get to see her here, given that she's stuck in the UK along with Leon Slater for who knows how long. But still, it was pretty good. The reason this whole match was a highlight for me is because Subculture is essentially, they walked so Lyco's gym can run, essentially. And it made me really super happy to see the vets of Subculture mix it up with the still been wrestling for quite some time, but on the younger side of Lycos Gym, and they are the spiritual successor to British
Still
Tag
kids.
Team Wrestling. And still kids, yes. It was also nice to see the Lycos boys actually get along because over in Progress, they be fighting. It is a mess, and we're gonna talk about that on Monday when we review In Darkest Day for the Progress crew. But
it's almost like continuity doesn't matter in mystery wrestling, so it doesn't matter.
I know. But I really enjoyed this because it was the veterans and the quote-unquote young ones clashing together, and it made me super happy. I loved it.
Took him to school. It was a beautiful, again, this entire night was a good mix of different styles that allowed you to kind of like go up and down and not get like too overwhelmed by the comedy or the wrestling. It was great. Subculture ends up picking up the win with the Victor Royal DDT, which was crazy, in a double Hurricane Rana. I'd watch them again in a minute, but we kind of have to go to the first half main event because this for me was close to being my match of the night. I don't know anybody else. This is what I remembered from Jesse texting repeatedly throughout the day when he was watching.
I can't even find that text thread right now.
This was a 2 falls in rounds World of Sports Entertainment rules match. Again, that comes into play. World of Sports Entertainment, not wrestling, not anything else. Versus James Ellis versus Cecil Nix, who had literally the night before won the Attack Pro Wrestling 24/7 title, which comes into play in this. Fun to see Cecil Nix having a title. Mikey, as you know, he was my one to watch this year. Like, he's having a blast of this. And if you don't know the behind the scenes on this, Cecil Nix is one of the people on the booking committee that comes up with the weird comedy ideas and just like takes them out there. He is brilliant, and this was a brilliant match. First off, Cecil comes out with his travel cup of bees and gets rushed by security because obviously you cannot let the bees out into...
I don't know how he got that through customs.
No one does.
Yeah.
But still, very good to have that off the bat. The crowd is wooing the belt. It's wonderful. Uno and Simon have no idea what the rules are of British wrestling rounds, which is always good. And they literally went through every sports entertainment trope in this entire match. I don't want to just go list by list, but there were too many to go with. Can I get from each of you your favorite spot in this match that was like taking the sports entertainment trope and breaking it?
Oh, I think my favorite one and the most memorable is when Cecil Nix got himself disqualified for interfering in his own match because he was wearing a black hoodie with the hood pulled up.
And an Evil Uno mask.
Yes, and then he takes the mask off, the hood down, and he's no longer disqualified, and the match keeps going.
Yeah,
Just because of how much schmoz garbage finishes I've seen over the past at least decade of somebody interfering in a nondescript hoodie, and now the match is thrown out. It made me laugh, and this whole match felt like just a big old hey, sports entertainment. You're being absurd with how much you're running through all these tropes.
Also, big props to Cecil Nix for getting those jeans on so quick. Benny, one of your favorite spots from this match?
Definitely.
He's going to the notes.
The shirt palooza. Like, yeah, I definitely had to dip into the notes.
What Benny's referring to is where
the shirt palooza.
When the refs would have Cecil Nix shirts on, we had changing allegiances back to James Ellis over this way. One of the guys from the tag team that had come out had then put on the ref shirt, became the ref. There was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, the triple turn.
The triple turn, which then he threw out everybody else, which I loved. So Benny, what about that made sense? What was your why was that your favorite?
To be honest with you, like when the guy who came out like put the ref shirt on and then threw out the ref, Oh man, that's my kind of humor.
Always good. And
Also,
then Mikey,
I gotta
go
ask.
ahead, Benny. Go ahead, Benny. Go ahead, Benny.
I was gonna ask what do you think the migration of the European or Canadian travel bees are?
Well, they're out of their element, so
Maybe
I
I
would
said that
assume that
wrong.
they're. No, you had. I don't. I think they're out of their element enough. They won't be able to mix with the European bees, but they're very close. So who knows? Just waiting for it to hit. Mikey, your favorite spot of this match?
Man, I love it because we had these two going at it, and in the middle of this, Mark Andrews is like, "Hold on," it's like he comes back out and he has his own match. It's just like, and you just see Cecil and James like in like submission holds, and they're watching this match in the corner as it's going on. They're like, "What is happening right now?"
I have to say that was so absurd. I forgot it happened. I genuinely thought it was another match as you brought it up, Mikey.
It was hilarious. Mark Andrews comes out and is like, "Hold on, we're gonna fight right now," and then like they were fighting one of the other guys that came in, and Cecil and James are tying each other up with their submission moves, and they're just like, "What is happening?" And they're watching this whole match go down in the middle of their match.
So to set this up for those that didn't watch it, because the 24/7 title was in the match, technically they didn't know if it was on the line or not. As James Ellis had Cecil Nix in a figure four, Martin Steele runs in, pins Cecil Nix, wins the title. So now he runs away and he's all out there. Things are going on. Then as the match is still going on and another submission move, Martin Andrews comes out to fight Martin Steele for the title. So they start the match in the middle of the match. Then the round ends in the first match, so they go back to their corners and are getting toweled off and watered while this other match is going on in the middle of the ring. Completely blowing it out. And there was another change in that, and so that was pushed over. That was the best. That was amazing. That to be able to keep that going. I also noticed James Ellis was corpsing in the corner after round two, watching them fight in front of them, like he could not keep it in. But everything was going nuts. This was just a complete, as you said, schmoz. The other thing I loved in this match was James Ellis realizing an eye poke was a 5-pound fine, so he got 25 pounds from his ringman and poked Cecil five times.
That was so good.
This was beat for beat, such an amazing match, and like the concept should not have worked. It was way too many wheels spinning at the same time, and it was just like grease lighting. It moved very easily. This was a highlight for me. I don't know how anyone else could have pulled this off. And basically, James Ellis ends up winning anyways, beats Cecil Nix for that, and can't even though Cecil couldn't be disqualified in his own match for disqualifying himself. So, what a way to go to intermission.
So I'm kind of looking at Mystery as two different types of matches. We have like more serious wrestling, and then we have this. And matches of the night for the less serious for me was absolutely this one. Like it's very hard to do satire and parody of yourself while you're still in it. It needs to be well balanced. There needs to be a good balance of like tongue in cheek, if you know, and also, hey, this is outwardly ridiculous. Everybody can see that. And they were able to hit it in this match, which is very, very hard to do.
And also doing it in a style that not many people know anymore, which is rounds from World of Sports. So that was perfect. Benny and Mikey, any final thoughts on the match?
I had fun.
What's that? That last word you used.
I'm just imagining every time we say that word, it's just like redacted in Jesse's ear. It's just like, I had a lot of redacted.
What a fun match! Like the match inside of a match. Like it was too much going on at one point, but I was still here for it. Like I love like the shot of like they're doing like the chops in the corner, and like the other two are like doing the collar and elbow tie up. Fantastic.
And the crisscross across them when the match went in between the two of them and broke them up, which was great. just again, Jesse, you said it the best. You have to know the line, and you have to do it perfectly, and they did. They went to that line, and they wrote it all the way through. And that's how we went to intermission. Intermission was wonderful. We talked about the upcoming events, when the next Mr. Wrestling is going to be there. And we come back from intermission to match 5. Kristara, one of our favorite Mr. Wrestling regulars, versus Rio. And Jesse texted me going, this is not
I
the
was
Rio
so
that
confused. I had a dyslexic moment and I read Rio wrong. And I was like, she looks a lot different than what I remember.
That's Riho.
So R-H-I-O versus R-I-H-O. Yeah.
Very
I don't know,
different
Jesse. I mean, one of the biggest differences, this one in front of a she black. I was just like,
I just thought she was taller. That's what I mean. That's what the difference I noticed.
But
Mike.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Mikey, go into it. Talk about it. Talk about Riho. Talk about your love. Go for it.
So where I was pleasantly surprised with Lyco's gym and Subculture facing off against each other, Kristara coming out, I was like, I love this girl. She's one of my favorites here in Mystery Wrestling. But bitch, when Rio came out, I was just like, I was like, queen right here. Here's the thing, right? Because there's a lot of, at least in the current women's British wrestling scene, there is a lot of talent that is vying for that top position, from the likes of what we see, Miss Alex Windsor, and of course, Nina Samuels, Kanji, some of these, Lana Austin, Alexis Falcon, and even some of the younger upstarts like Harley Hudson, Rain Leverkusen. Like, there's a lot of strong women in the British wrestling scene. But if I had to pinpoint who is probably the queen in the current, wrestling market in the UK, Rio is that girl. And I'm just like, God, I may have woken up my family with my screaming when she came out, because I was pleasantly surprised. I'm like, oh, it's my girl. I love her so much. Oh.
She made quite the show.
So good.
Well, and she and Kristara worked very well together in terms of their continuity and their chemistry. I also love they both got over the cats versus dogs argument the entire time of this match.
It was hilarious. Oh, we should mention, though, because Kristara got to pick one of the 3 championships that Rio was holding, and it became a championship match. I'm like, oh, let's go. All right, let's do this. And this became
they should do that. That should be the formula for whenever somebody's holding multiple belts, even like
just
the tag belts. It's like if it's a one-on-one match, you get to choose. Like, you got too many belts. I want that one.
So this was for the Pro Wrestling Eve Championship, and I'm like, let's go.
It was very, very good. And like I said, Kristara got announced that she's missing her cats this week and became the cat in the thing. And then Riho getting the dog woofing over at the same point and being too strong for Kristara's arm drag. That's when I knew I was in on Riho. I was like, oh wow, like that is definitely big.
I loved this match. This was my match of the night. It was crisp. They worked snug, but nobody looked like they actually got hurt. Like, in watching Stardom, they work very snug, and it's pretty common to see, oh, they're bleeding from their mouth a little bit. Somebody must have bit their cheek or something like that. They worked snug, but it wasn't like dangerous level of snug. And I was just very impressed by both of their athleticism. I have to say the commentary on this one definitely threw me through a loop, because there was at one point where Rio had her in a crossface, and Uno goes, she's got her in a crossface. It's a Canadian thing. Like, whoa, we are acknowledging that one.
Well, she wasn't crippled yet, but Kristara definitely had her in it. So, Benny, what do you think about this?
To be honest with you, I'm sort of in the same boat as Mikey here. Like, I'm a huge fan of Rio, and with her defending the Eve Riot Girls of Wrestling championship. Oh man, I was so excited. Like, Eve is something special, man. It's like feminist punk rock with a little bit of cabaret. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
Listen,
Sounds right up our alley.
I'm trying to find for us to, if anyone is available, I really want to do a post show for Queendom, happening in March. I'm like, let's do it, y'all.
Mikey, I got the way you can do it. Drop all your WWE stuff. We don't have to do it anymore.
I honestly think because it's on YouTube too, I was just like, listen, we'll plan this out. We are going to be doing Queendom. Like that is like we're doing it.
Oh,
It'll replace
like what was it like? Amira, she does like the nose flute.
Oh my gosh.
Harley
Nobody
Cameron.
is ready for her match against Harley Cameron in March. I am not spiritually ready, but I'm here for it.
Well, this was a wonderful thing.
Comedy wrestling.
Yes.
There we are. So again, Rio picks up the win here, and to go back to that as well, I love that Uno did call out the fact as they're choosing which title he's going, which of these 3 companies decided they wanted to work with us? Who could it be? And it's Pro Wrestling, which made sense. So perfect way to end it there. Yes. Rio takes home the home win. We did wonderful there. We come to match 6. I was not ready for this. I don't know if any of you were ready for this. And we know the normal way that some of these matches go. Mystery Wrestling luminary Psycho Mike takes on Gene Money. I've never seen a mentalist trick done at the top of the show to give away the finish.
Shout out to Gene with this picture too.
Oh my God. But no, taking out and writing down the end of the finish like a mentalist show, putting it in an envelope and putting it to the side, and the bit where Mike had to try to get to it, he wanted to see what the ending of the match was, and he couldn't get to it, made me laugh out loud. I could not stop laughing. I just want to let you guys talk, just like the last one. First off, the full striptease by Mike at the beginning. Very funny. Loved that very much. But give me some of your highlights here. Like, we'll start with Jesse, we'll go to Benny, we'll go to Mikey. Highlights of this match, things that made you just completely guffaw out loud.
So this whole match was absolutely like bizarre and bonkers in a good way. It did make me remember something that was definitely buried down as a bad wrestling memory, which was the AJ Styles Shinsuke Nakamura Richard kick match.
Yeah.
That's the right reaction to have on that. But they did it in this match in a whole bunch of different creative ways that actually made me laugh. Like, okay, it makes sense in this context. It's ridiculous. It's funny. It's absurd, but it works here. So it was like a nice, I hate to say this is a really weird thing to say, but it was almost like a palate cleanser based off of remembering that memory of AJ Shinsuke.
They escalated it perfectly there. And to give you context, Jesse, there was an earlier match from a couple back where it was a low blow rules match where Mike had been in that before. And I was missing it from this one was they got into basically a dick punch hockey fight where they were both punching each other in the dick repeatedly in that one. So I wanted to see that spot again, but
they even got the ref in on it too.
Yes, they did. Oh, that poor ref. That poor ref got completely wrecked. Benny, highlights here. What do you got?
Well, first off, like the "Who's Got Your Belly" spot with the chops in the corner.
Oh yeah, blown raspberries.
This match, I literally had to pause just because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
And especially after the crescendo of the ball spot, the ref falls onto Mooney, and then Mooney goes
and he comes up
like crotch, like, oh my God, this is perfect slapstick. Perfect slapstick.
Well done. And also before that, the "I do not consent" that he yells out really loud. Mikey, highlight.
I really enjoyed this one too. And here's the thing, right? So Psycho Mike, of course, getting to not only see him here, but all last year, getting him to interact with some really fun folks when he was part of the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling shows, which, guys, I am so excited for this ROH, AEW, CMLL, New Japan, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling crossover in March. Love to see it. So Psycho Mike is fantastic. Now, Gene Money of the Money family, the royal family of Progress Pro Wrestling. This is the perfect type of match for Gene because he is a comedy character in Progress too. with him and Session Moth Martina, who is also fantastic, by the way. Y'all need to go check her stuff out because she's also fantastic. And it's ridiculous too because Gene found his quote unquote long lost twin brother in the form of Koga from Pro Wrestling Noah. So it's just like white British man, Japanese wrestler, twins.
That tracks.
That tracks.
Especially
more believable than the Dudley Boys.
You will get to see this unfold more on Sunday when you watch In Darkest Day because Gene and Koga are going after the tag titles. But this suits Gene perfectly. And here's the thing too, and I say it all the time when I'm talking about progress all the time. Gene is a comedy wrestler, but he is also the handler, gatekeeper, trainer. He is the liaison between Japanese wrestlers coming over to Progress and doing some stints with Progress as well. Gene has had a history of training with and like a lot of greats. He has worked from the unknowns to the greats, like at one point Okada and Tanahashi, and even helped to get the young startups of like in Pro Wrestling Noah, like their golden boy right now, Kaito Kiyomiya, and just he has worked that Japanese style, and he gets his flowers from me because I was just like, oh, you're funny, and you can actually pull out the good stuff when you need to as well. So
very much.
This match was hilarious to me. I loved it.
We between the fact also when talking about the mentalist stuff, Gene is yelling at the crowd members, don't watch this match, just wait until the end and then I'll prove it's right. Don't watch the match. Please stop watching the match. He tried to get the audience to go away, which is perfect. Did everyone notice on that ref bump where he bumped in and then Gene came up into Mike's crotch, that Mike just went up and just started doing this to his face, looking like he was gigging himself after getting hit in the crotch and then fell over, which is perfect. We had the slaps on this. And then, of course, the reading of the envelope by the audience member who reads out the entirety of the end of the match, and Gene going, that's not what I wrote. That's not what I put down. That can't be it. Getting distracted, and Psycho Mike does a roaring dick arm into a body slam to win. Just that, the ref bumps where they were hitting him repeatedly in the corner. This was slaps, as you said, Benny, slapstick comedy at its best in a physical form. This is my match of the year. This is one of my matches of the year.
Gene is so good, y'all. I need you. So good.
It's so good. Like I was just gonna say is that like I like that G Money like also kicked out at like 5.9. Like as Mike is like on the turnbuckle, like he's like
just put his arm up, which is great. And did everyone catch on commentary when they were Simon Miller was talking about him? He going, yeah, apparently he's got mysterious powers like the Undertaker or Lance Storm.
I didn't get to Lance Storm line.
I was cracking up. I was like, not the Lance Storm. I was like, oh Lord.
I will say this to all the BC WrestlePod fan out there: if you watch this match and like, you will laugh so hard out loud, your family will think you're ridiculous or something's wrong. Go back and watch this.
Yeah,
our families already know.
They do. That's why we get away with it.
And some of us indoctrinate our family into this cult of pro wrestling. Y'all have known how y'all have known how April 2025 to now has gone with me and Mama LaGuillo. She is now my ride or die. It's so crazy.
Has she watched this yet?
No, I'm going to though. She's excited because she's excited. Well, looking towards the future, I'm going to show her this, so this should be fun. She's finding wrestlers that she loves. Of course, they are the most popular, but you know what? I don't mind because she loves her some Thunder Rosa and Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. She also loves, as everyone does, Joe Hendry. So I was just like, this is gonna be fun. But I'm excited to show her this match. I was like, look what I watch on occasion.
She'll love it. She'll love it. And again, we come to the end of our show. This is the last match, the main event. And you think, how are you going to follow Psycho Mike and Gene Money? How is this going to happen? This is for all the marbles, for the Mystery Wrestling Championship. Stu Grayson taking on the returning from a major injury 2 years, the belle of the ball, the most theatrical wrestler we've ever seen in a while, Cal Noir. I knew nothing about him coming into this. I knew nothing about how he did it. He comes out barefoot, and hearing both the history on commentary about him, how he worked this match, and how flamboyant he was. I don't know. Did the rest of you fall in love as much as I did with Cal?
I'm gonna wait my turn because I'm a gush. Because again, flexing my British pro wrestling. Yes.
I'm trying to think of the best way to work my way through this thread here.
It's gay. You can say it. It was gay. This is the most.
I don't know what that word means either.
This
Nice.
I loved the theatrics. I thought the wrestling itself was very, very good. I'm getting a little tired of the no nonsense club, which I get. I know we're building to a bigger story. At least I hope, and Evil would take it back from Stu Grayson. I don't know this match. While it was well wrestled, it just didn't really do it for me. I didn't really enjoy it too much compared to everything else we had on the card. I feel like this would have been better, and I know it's the title match, so it makes sense as the main event. But I feel like this would have been better in the mid card.
Interesting.
Now, I don't have the history and the context that you guys have. I haven't watched as much mystery wrestling. I haven't been experienced with Stu Grayson all that much. And I got to say, I've never been sold on barefoot wrestlers for some reason. I get more concerned about their foot health than anything else.
Well, and that's the point. That makes the drama there, as Stu was stomping on his feet the entire match. And that's where he was injured, too. He was out with a very nasty foot injury for a long time. Got crushed. Benny, what did you think of the match?
I think this actually might go on one of my match of the years lists.
Boy, are we not even in the same book?
Yeah, it's okay. Opinions are. Everybody's got a different one. I took the high road.
Because there's more to that statement, but okay, keep going, Betty. I won't interrupt.
Opinions are like
5
assholes.
seconds.
Everybody has
Mike,
one.
hey, behave yourself.
No.
And they all stink.
No,
Good.
I just met you. I'm not gonna call you an asshole. You know what I mean? I'll be the asshole.
I will, but that's because we're friends.
Exactly.
Can we let Benny talk, please?
What?
So, Cara Noir.
All right, Benny, go ahead.
From what I know of them, I'm a huge fan. And Stu Grayson. What else can I say about Stu Grayson? Right? We all know how great Stu is. He just might be probably one of the best hands that Canada has on the indie scene. But this was awesome. But I will concede that it did get a little messy in the middle, where I was like, okay, wrap it up. But then
there
they
was
brought
a
it home.
second gear
Really.
needed to hit. They needed to hit a second gear in there somewhere where it was just kind of the same energy all the way through.
Exactly.
I can see that. Mikey, so first off, for all of us that are going to be ready for this, Mikey's going to go on for about 2 more hours. So just get your coffee, get your tea, get a nice or easy pillow and put it back behind your back for lumbar support. Mikey, go ahead. Let's hear it.
So, to play spoiler for a little bit, I'm actually going to be in the middle here. I am going to, because I'm agreeing with Jesse in certain points he's made, and I'm agreeing with Benny in certain points as well. But to give a little bit of context, again, subculture, like goes Jim, giddy as a schoolgirl, right? Yelling when Rio came out caused a riot when Cara Noir stepped out, and I was just like, here's the thing, right? So, because it's me and just the people I tend to attract anyways, because I was like, this is the most theater kid wrestler that is in the current market anywhere in the world, right? Cara Noir comes out to orchestrated music. He is the black swan of He is the swan of professional wrestling.
He comes out to Tchaikovsky.
Exactly. I was like, you can't go like Tchaikovsky. And then, of course, the makeup. He wrestles barefoot. Is very theatrical. I have been following Cara Noir for a very long time, and I'm so happy. Now, JVL, you brought up that he was out for 2 years with the foot injuries, but it was really nice to see him come back at the beginning of last year because, again, progress is mine and it started with me and Andrew, and so Cara Noir coming back, and he's been really, really great. I'm biased. I like Cara Noir, and I do agree that Stu Grayson is probably one of the best capable hands that the independent wrestling scene in Canada has right now, and he is great. Um, but the match itself, I agree with Benny in the sense that I had a good time with this because again, it's Cara Noir and Stu Grayson. Never in my wildest dreams that we would see this match anything happen. I will also agree with Benny. It did get messy in the middle. But I also agree with Jesse. This is necessarily not the best match on the card. It wasn't by any means the worst. And that's even saying something because I had a fun time with everything that I watched. But I do think that we could have stepped it up into a gear. I understand why, because again, this was last week on Sunday when this aired and when this all went down. But I think that Progress is like, hey, we're going to lend you Cara Noir, but let's not try to have him go all out like he normally does because we can't risk him getting hurt because he has a match coming up this Sunday for the Progress Men's World Championship against man like Darius. And so they're like, we probably don't want Cara Noir to get hurt because we want him to have this match with Darius come next Sunday. So I feel that that's also why, but I had a good time. Cara Noir is always great. Again, he's been part of some of my favorite modern wrestling feuds. And dare I say, I think his feud with Spike Trevay, who also returned to Progress recently, is probably one of the best wrestling feuds in any men's division across the world in the last couple of years. And I put my reputation as a wrestling fan on the line for that one.
Well, and you see that they bring these guys, this quality of wrestling and mystery wrestling, to have these wonderful matches. This was brutal in a couple of big neck shots that were done during it. A couple of Ushigoroshis that went a little sideways, so we saw both Stu and Cara get bait up a bit. We had a great kick into a Hurricane Rana, basically a reversal there. And yet Stu did what he could in terms of making the brutality there, but I think you're right on both of this, for both Benny and Jesse, that it just wasn't up to the level of this is a championship match. It was just kind of an exhibition. Yes, Jesse.
I was looking for the raise my hand button in here, but StreamYard doesn't have one. Mikey, I'm not going to argue this. I'm just going to state my opinion about the biggest theater kid in professional wrestling because it's not this person. It is Dalton Castle, and I'm not going to have you bury him like that.
That is very true. Now, if you want to make both me and Jesse happy in wrestling gods, you would put Cara Noir and Dalton Castle against each other because
or on a tag
that
team.
would be
or on a tag team.
That is money right there, and we are not leaving that on the table, Jesse. Let's make some phone calls.
You will make dollars and cents, fistfuls of dollars if you put those
some toonies and some loonies. If Mr. Wrestling can put it together, they'd be better. I will also say, just to sidebar with commentary on this, Simon Miller basically saying that fellow balds should stick together, but Stu is letting them down. Always great to hear that from Simon. And this
it's
is
a bad
me.
look for Stu is a bad look for bald people. I earned the right to say that.
And I'm putting this out to the world also. Take this for the free that it is, Evil Uno. We need a Simon Miller, Stu Grayson hair versus hair match.
Yes! Just have them get horrible wigs. This is like, yes, go to Party City.
Yeah.
Who do we have be the special guest referee? Bobby Lashley?
Oh my God. I mean, he's hurt. He's not wrestling right now, so.
Could work well.
I mean, it's his business to be hurt.
Stokely.
Ooh, very nice, Jesse.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, Basic WrestlePod fam. That was the end of Mystery Wrestling for this month. There is, though, we were told, a secret show they did the day before, Mystery Wrestling 21.5, which had another 2 hours of wrestling they put on there, including a 3 Stages of Hell match between Psycho Mike and Cecil Nix. So we will be watching that in the next couple of weeks and getting that to you on the 12th of February. We're going to be reviewing that. So if you haven't joined Mystery Wrestling's Patreon yet, do that so you can see this match now, or wait a week and they're going to put it out for free as well. So you can't miss this. You need to see it. But final thoughts from all three of you on Mystery Wrestling 21. Was it worth the trip to Cardiff, to Wales?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm just heartened to hear that Jesse learned
100%.
what fun was. 100%.
Yes. Now I might forget, but at least at this point, I have some grasp on the concept.
Well, for all of that then there, Mikey, is there anything else we want to bring up about coming up the rest of the week before we head on out of here?
Yeah, sure thing. Of course, we are closing out this week tomorrow evening with the TNA crew, where we will be reviewing TNA Genesis. Listen, it has been a rough go for us the last 2 weeks. Everyone on the internet came together for once and all agreed that the AMC debut of TNA was doo-doo. And somebody who defends TNA till the cows come home, that show broke me, and it broke my rules for report cards, guys. We're barely into 2026, and that episode earned itself a D on the report card. It was rough. But myself, both sets of wills will be there reviewing TNA Genesis. Of course, I and one will be giving the perspective of watching it together over the weekend. And then, of course, our Papa also will be giving us his insights, as him and the husbando was there live in the arena because it was from Dallas, Texas. So
there we go.
We're going to talk all things. And then next week, we got some crazy stuff happening. You know, we still got our regular stuff of AEW, NXT, CMLL, more TNA goodness. But Monday, we have a Progress Wrestling review, which, you know, it's not just going to be me this time, hopefully. But we're getting the Progress crew to review In Darkest Day. And then, of course, in February, the counter show to that is In Brightest Night. I was like, just get Green Lantern, you guys. Like, come on now.
It's the White and Black Lanterns. It's basically what we're going to. But yes.
It is going to be great. And then, of course, next Thursday, finally, we get our first MLW show 2026. Battle Riot is going to go ham. And you know what? It's going to be a fun time, especially with MLW Fusion supposedly coming back. And we might have weekly MLW stuff happening. So stay tuned. But yeah, that's going to be it.
Well, then, for all of us here, thank you to Benny for being here today. Thank you to Jesse, i.e. Adam Coleslaw. Thank you to Mikey for keeping the ones and twos. And thank you all for joining us tonight, whether it's live right now, joining us for our YouTube upload, or for all of Mikey's cut-up shorts that actually do really well because it's only him talking. We really appreciate all of you coming here to BC WrestlePod to get your wrestling fix, because you're not only just listening to us, you're part of this group as well. Mikey will hire you at some point and put you on a show. Anyhow,
it's true, you guys. It's true.
Algorithm. Pick somebody else who's bald with glasses. Algorithm. Pick somebody else who's
theater background. It's a theater background or part of the LGBTQIA2+ community.
Or both. But either way, thank you so much for joining us for this and for Mr. Wrestling. Go and watch it if you haven't. And remember, stay iconic because you always are, and so are we. And we'll see you on our next video.